With that down, guys, let's talk about this, shall we? You know, it's always amazing to me that in the darker corners of fandom, there are people who not only want movies to fail, which I'll never understand that. There's never been a movie that's come out that I've wanted it to fail. I always hope everything's good. And, you know, if I watch and I think it sucks, I go, I think it sucks, but I hope you like it, right? But there are always those things that try to create narratives that something is failing or whatever. And you guys have probably seen this going around. That Captain America 4, of course it's Marvel, so it's going to have its haters, understandably so. Captain America 4, you've probably seen this. At first, it was $275 million to make it. Shortly after that, the rumor evolved to being, did you see it's cost $300 million to make Captain America 4? That was in fashion for a couple of days. And then in forums and on websites, you start saying Captain America 4 cost $350 million to make. And the number just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, you guys might remember about a month or so ago, I said on the show, I talked to somebody and they said those reports are wildly exaggerated. They didn't give me an actual number, but they said, you know, those numbers are wildly exaggerated. And I talked about that on the show a little bit. I said, I don't know what the actual cost is going to be. I imagine, Chris, that it would have been a little high because they did a lot of reshoots.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Well, now it's come out what they actually spent on the movie. It's $180 million. It's $180 million. This comes to us. The Hollywood Reporter reported, by the way, Captain America Brave New World's budget is way less than original rumors. The budget for Captain America Brave New World has been revealed, and while still as large as fans has come to expect from a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, it is far lower than the ones that have been predicted earlier. The release of Captain America 4 is fast approaching, and predictions have already been made about the film's opening weekend box office, heightening fans' interest in the production budget for the new MCU blockbuster. According to a report by The Hollywood Reporter, the overall budget for Captain America Brave New World stands at approximately $180 million. Make no mistake, that is still a very expensive movie, right? No one's calling this a mid-level indie film. This is an expensive movie. This is comparatively lower than the previous predictions by World of Real, which started the rumors out at 275 with an extra 100 million start on reshoots. Then eventually that all blew up to $350 million. And I even saw a couple of places suggesting it was like $400 million.
Well, you got to outdo the other guy.
Yeah. Just to create a negative atmosphere around the film. So now we know what this movie cost. It cost $180 million to make. Still an expensive movie. Some may argue that is still too expensive. And it's hard to argue with you that maybe it is still too expensive. It still means it's got to make a lot of money, right? Because you figure they put a lot of money. I'm going to guess, let me guess high, I guess a little bit high. Let's say they spend $100 million in the marketing, which is probably more than they've spent, but let's for argument's sake say $100 million. Well, now you got $180 million budget, $100 million for marketing. That's $280 million. Hell, let's even round it up to 300.
All right.
Now you've got a movie that needs to make $450 million at the box office just to break even. Why 450? Well, because remember, the movie theaters keep 1/3. So if the movie makes $450 million, that means the theaters keep $150 million. There's $300 million left, and there's your 180 plus 100, rounding up to $300 million. So roughly that's a lot of money. That's a massive hit for some other movies. So it's still expensive. But it debunks this whole thing that the movie had to make like $600 million just to break even and stuff like that. So, and now look, the reports have come out again. It seems like they've raised estimates now for how much this movie's going to make opening weekend. It went from 85 to 95. Now they've adjusted it and said 90 to 95. And if it does open at 90 to 95, they should be very happy with that. Yeah. I think they pop bottles. I think that's a good, strong opening for a movie like this, especially considering it's a brand new Captain America. I'm still, Chris, a little skeptical that it'll actually make that much. I'm going to guess it makes closer to 80, which is still pretty solid. I mean, it's
still
more
a good
than
number.
It's still more than what Sonic made in its opening weekend. So it'd still be good. I'm skeptical that it makes 90-95. Maybe it makes more than that. I don't know. Anyway, you hear about all this. Number one, what do you think about the report? Number two, how well do you think Captain America 4 can do? Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, every January is like a blank slate, 365 pages waiting for you to fill them in. Perhaps it's time to rewrite a chapter that's been holding you back. Life isn't about resolutions that fade, it's about becoming the author of your own life story. And in writing that story, therapy can be your trusted editorial partner, helping you craft meaningful chapters, build resilience, and empower you to live the life that you've always envisioned. Therapy can help you learn positive coping skills, set boundaries, and become your best self. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers fully online therapy, making it affordable and convenient. With over 30,000 licensed therapists specializing in diverse needs, you can find somebody who truly understands your story. You can even switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. You know, I often hear from some of our viewers who talk about having some real struggles and challenges over the last couple of years. Well, listen, we commit ourselves to getting more physically strong and healthy by going to the gym. It's time for us to commit to getting more mentally and emotionally strong by getting involved in therapy. So write your story with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Campea.
I'm actually pretty optimistic about how Captain America can do. I think that we've got a nice little bit of momentum going here. I think the trailers have done this film a service so far of getting people excited. We now know that this is a budget that's more akin to the Winter Soldier budget, which was 170, I believe. So I feel like right now everything is moving as this should. I think the report, I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like these numbers get thrown around and sometimes we like to see the popular kid fail. Sometimes we like to see Goliath fall. And trust me, Marvel's been doing that on its own, guys, with the content. It's not all been grade A Marvel content. So I don't think we need to inflate these budgets that often already are inflated. I don't know how that number got falsified in the first place. I'm wondering if that was just like rumor.
Well, it came from a place that wasn't the most reliable place, but
then it just got momentum.
People loved seeing that big number and started running with it, and then that number started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Just all snowballed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's great to have the actual data so that we all can know, okay, well, this is the benchmark that this movie actually does need to hit in order for this to be a success. And once again, I just want to remind everyone too, we all want movies to succeed. Ultimately,
not all of us.
Well, like we should. Everyone in this room,
absolutely
we want films to do well. I never understand the rooting against a film. You can just not go see it. I know I've been vocal in the past about, oh, that's probably not a movie I'm going to see. Oh, that's not really my genre. But I really hope that they do well. So for anyone who's, Team DC versus Marvel, or, oh, I only like to watch art house films instead of superhero movies. When movies do well, all movies get to benefit. We love when movies do well in a movie theater. So I just wanted to pop on my soapbox for a minute to say that. And maybe we fully read articles. Once again, I feel like I'm saying this every single week. Read full articles, follow up on sources that are reliable, and double check everything before then you also perpetuate those things and snowball these
What I'm hearing
figures.
is post for clicks.
Oh, that is what I said,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, thank you. The
Anyway,
translation
guys,
is really good.
question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, obviously the budget ended up being much more reasonable, although still quite expensive, make no mistake about it, than originally reported. They're saying this movie can make up to $95 million this opening weekend. If it does, that's great. I still remain a little skeptical that it can do that, but I am looking forward to seeing it. I've already got my tickets. How big do you think it can be? Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.